Today is day 50 of the 1% 100, a mindset challenge that I created to become 1% better daily for 100 days. Today's actually day 52, but for all intents and purposes, today's day 50. Halfway through the challenge, just got a little bit busy and couldn't record the video 2 days ago, but we are here now recording the video. In the last 50 days, I challenged myself to exercise every single day for at least half an hour and learn something every single day for at least half an hour. 1 hour a day spent investing into yourself, becoming 1% better daily to measure what sort of progress you can make in 100 days. It takes 21 days to build a habit, 90 days to change your lifestyle, and I want to take you from day 0 to day 100 where you don't even think about the habit that you created anymore. And at this halfway point, what I've been doing since day 1 has been running. And there's a great lesson in how I've changed my behavior and how I've changed my identity that I think you're going to find very helpful for your own personal development journey. When I first started running in this segment of my life, I've ran before, but I was looking at a mile like, wow, this is going to be so hard. This is going to be so difficult. 50 days later, a mile is a warm-up. It's easy. And what I came to realize is that, yes, while I've gotten a bit more physically fit, what's really changed is my perspective on the challenge. A mile is no longer difficult. It's easy. But that's because I've changed my identity to someone who runs. I am someone who runs, and people who run do more than just a mile. And I felt the same way and have had similar conversations when it comes to working out. When you're speaking with a client who hasn't worked out before, they might be intimidated of how difficult it is going to be to become someone who works out. But that's because they're still in this mindset of, I am not someone who works out. If you could snap your fingers and change your mindset and change your identity to, I am someone who works out, the action becomes automatic and it's no longer difficult. I was talking to one of my friends who's building his startup company right now, and he's working his ass off trying to make it happen. If you're watching this, love you, keep hustling, buddy. But what I was telling him over the phone was that he kept telling me how hard it's going to be, and this uphill battle and what a great story it's going to be. But sometimes it's easy. Like the work itself can be easy. We get caught up in this sort of like mental toughness challenge, but sometimes it's easy. And you can change your mind, change your perspective on what the action actually is to make it easier on yourself. Now, there's definitely something to say about still doing hard things, but with the simple change of perspective, you can make something hard very easy. And you can really only know this in reflection of doing something difficult. So for example, I did a trail run the other day that I was absolutely dreading to do because I knew it was going to be difficult. But when I got to the top, I was like, that wasn't that hard. And hindsight is 20/20, but you can just change your perspective. You can just change it if you want to. If you really wanted to, before that run, I could have said, this is going to be easy. And how would have that affected my performance if I knew it was going to be easy? Because when you tell yourself something's going to be hard, you're more likely to stop, slow down, because it feels like you're working against something. But if you tell yourself something's going to be easy, it's like running downhill. You gain more momentum. And it comes down to your perspective and your mindset. Now, there's something, again, to say about some things are going to be harder than you expect them to be. And that's okay. But if you go into the mindset with it of, this is going to be easy, then sometimes it's actually going to be easy. And I don't know if this is the effect that David Goggins has had on the internet or what it really is, but working out for me right now, who's worked out for 4 or 5 years, is easy. It's not something I dread doing or don't look forward to doing. But that's just because I've changed my identity through so much repetition. And before I started working out, I viewed working out as very difficult. And there's been a lot of experience in between, but ultimately it's my mindset and my perspective on the action that's actually changed. So what I'm trying to say, at least, is that self-improvement doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. It can be something you look forward to. It can be something that feels good while you do. You don't have to dread the actions that you do for self-improvement. Matter of fact, they're some of the most rewarding actions you can do, and if you can have fun while doing them, you're going to do it for longer. So if you're able to change your perspective from this is going to be hard, this is going to suck, to this is going to be easy, this is going to be fun, then you can get after it. Because really what it comes down to is whether or not you have the skills or the beliefs to do it. If you don't have the skills to do it, you got to get reps in. Simple as that. If you don't have the beliefs to do it, you got to get the reps in to have the belief in yourself that you can do it. So that's all it comes down to, is getting those reps in. And the perspective you have of getting those reps in is going to be the difference of how quickly you get those reps in. If you build it up in your mind and have this mental block of, oh, it's going to be the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, you're going to take so much longer of even doing that first rep because you've built it up in your head. But if you tell yourself it's going to be easy and that it might even be fun, you're going to go do that rep yesterday. So it really comes down to your skills and your beliefs. Some things are going to be harder than others, but your perspective and your mindset is a huge factor in taking that first step in the longevity of your self-improvement journey. It doesn't have to be hard. Sometimes it might be. But the journey should be fun. The journey should be easy, depending on your perspective that you have. And what I've come to realize too, whether or not the journey is easy or hard, it's not about getting to the top of the mountain. It's not about the Lambos. It's not about the Raris. It's not about the Rolex. It's not about any of that. It's about the man or woman you become on your way up. And what lessons do you actually learn on your way up? And sometimes it's going to be harder than you expected, but the lesson there is perseverance. And sometimes it's going to be easier than you expected. And the lesson there is to take action. Either way, whatever the outcome is, whether it's physically, mentally challenging, or physically or mentally easy, there's a lesson to learn there. And that lesson is the actual value of the self-improvement journey. You just got to keep grinding. But the grind doesn't have to be hard. It might be. But if you change your mind to, this is something I enjoy doing, this is something I look forward to doing, then it gets easier. And you just grow as an outcome of doing something you enjoy. Personally, I love learning about business. I'm not sure why. What I think it is that the business I'm in, working in a gym, helps people. I'm of service to people. I can add value to people. So the more I learn about business, the more people I help, then the outcome is that I get rewarded by whatever the marketplace deems my value. But I enjoy learning about business. I'm not sat there learning about lead generation like, oh, this is so hard. I hate doing this. It's like I look forward to learning more about lead generation. Then lead generation becomes easy because it's fun. So my main point of this video is that self-improvement should feel good. Self-improvement should be fun. It doesn't always have to be hard. It can be easy, and that's okay. Some things are going to be harder than you expected. Some things are going to be easier than you expected. Fuck, stuttered. My main point of this video, self-improvement should feel good. Self-improvement should be fun. It doesn't always have to be hard. Sometimes it is going to be harder than you expected. Sometimes it's going to be easier than you expected. But the value of the journey is in the lessons that you learn. Whether you learn the lesson of perseverance through a hard time or the lesson of just taking that first step by it actually being easier than you thought it was going to be. The value is the lessons that you learn on your way up on your journey. So keep fucking killing it. Go to the fucking gym. Start that business. Ask her out. Do the thing you told yourself you were going to do. It's not actually that hard. It's not that hard. It takes more work to avoid the work. It takes more energy to avoid the work than it does to actually do the work. It's easier than you think it's going to be. And you can improve yourself so much faster if you just take that first step. But if you build up this mental block of that first step is going to be so hard, you're going to delay years of your own growth. And that's self-sabotage. Why are you sabotaging yourself? Go and do the thing you want to do. Nobody is stopping you besides you. Just go do it. Hell yeah. Shia LaBeouf in this bitch. Yeah.